topic that carries immense weight in the realm of interpersonal relationships is the art of apology. Apologizing isn't just about saying, I'm sorry. It's about understanding the depth of the hurt caused and taking meaningful steps towards healing. The act of apologizing dates back to ancient civilizations, where it was seen as a sacred gesture of restoring harmony within communities. It's rooted in the recognition of wrongdoing and the sincere desire to make amends. I'm Sinta Ebersohn, an internationally accredited post-traumatic growth specialist, and my passion is to figure out all the things that we can do and work through to make us more resilient. Some are huge concepts, and others are seemingly small but vitally important. So join me on this journey of discovery and growth. Hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons while you're listening. Why is it so crucial to apologize correctly? Because apologies aren't just words. They're bridges to healing and reconciliation. When someone has been wronged, they need validation, acknowledgement, and assurance that their pain matters. Dr. Harriet Lerner, a psychologist and author, says, a genuine apology is like an antibiotic. A tiny dose can ward off something that could become incredibly nasty. I'm going to give some examples of how not to apologize and then offer a better approach. I'm sorry that you feel that way. Doesn't work. You should say, I'm sorry for my actions and the pain that they caused you. I wouldn't have done it if you hadn't blah, blah, blah. Doesn't work. What you should be saying is, I take full responsibility for my actions. I was under a lot of stress. That's an excuse. You should be saying, I understand my behavior was hurtful and I am committed to changing it. It's not that big of a deal is not the right way to apologize. I recognize the impact of my actions on you and I am truly sorry. There's a better way to do it. Let's just forget about it. Something you hear often? That's no way to go about it. I'm committed to making things right and to rebuilding trust with you. That's the way to do it. Fine, I'm sorry. Okay? Have you heard that? No, no, no. I apologize sincerely for the pain I've caused you. That's how we're supposed to say it. I guess I messed up. That's not an apology either. I messed up. I know I messed up, and I'm willing to face the consequences. Now that is an apology. Waiting for the other person to ask for an apology, delaying that apology is not a good thing. But proactively offering an apology when you realize you've hurt someone before they've had to ask for it is way better. And if you ignore the impact, but you focus only on your intentions when you did it, doesn't work either. You need to acknowledge the impact of your actions on the other person, period. And if there's no change, in other words, you're apologizing, but you're not committing to change your behavior, there's no point. You need to commit yourself to learning from this experience and ensure that it doesn't happen again. This is very important. Dr. John Gottman, who's a relationship expert and a well-known researcher, says in relationships, a heartfelt apology is the superhero of repair work. It heals wounds, it dissolves resentment, and it restores trust. Studies have shown that sincere apologies not only repair relationships, but they also contribute to the psychological well-being of both parties that are involved. When we take ownership of our mistakes and we commit to change our behavior, we foster trust and we deepen connections. So remember, when apologizing, focus on understanding the impact of your actions Take full accountability and commit to meaningful change. Let your apologies be the genuine bridges to healing and growth. Brené Brown, who's a very popular researcher and storyteller, said, apologizing doesn't always mean you're wrong and the other person is right. It means that you value your relationship more than your ego. Think about that for a moment. So I'm going to offer some steps for offering a sincere and effective apology. Firstly, you need to acknowledge and accept responsibility. Begin by acknowledging what you did wrong and accepting full responsibility for your actions. And avoid making excuses or deflecting blame onto others. Take ownership of your mistake. Then express sincere remorse for the hurt or the harm caused by your actions. Show empathy by acknowledging the impact of your behavior on the other person's feelings. You can use phrases like, I'm truly sorry, or I regret my actions to convey your remorse. Also offer to make amends or give restitution for the harm that's caused, if it's possible. This could involve taking concrete steps to rectify the situation or offering support to help repair any damage that was done. But be proactive in finding ways to make things right. Then demonstrate your commitment to change by outlining specific steps you will take to avoid repeating the same mistake in the future. This may involve setting boundaries, seeking help or support, or developing new habits or coping strategies to avoid repeating that mistake. And then, if the time is right, humbly request forgiveness from the person you've wronged, but understand that forgiveness is a process that may take time. Be patient and understanding, and respect the other person's feelings and boundaries. Ultimately, focus on repairing the relationship and rebuilding trust through your actions. By following these steps, you can really offer a sincere and meaningful apology that has the potential to heal wounds, to repair relationships, and to foster growth and reconciliation. What about receiving an apology or accepting an apology? Here's what you can do. First of all, listen with empathy. Begin by actively listening to the apology with an open mind and an open heart. Show empathy towards the person offering the apology, understanding that it takes courage to admit wrongdoing and to express remorse. But validate your own feelings and experiences related to the harm that was caused. Acknowledge the impact of the other person's actions on you and allow yourself to feel those emotions that arise, whether it's hurt, anger, sadness, or whatever it is. Validate them. And then assess the sincerity, evaluate the sincerity of the apology based on the person's words, their tone, and their body language. Look for genuine remorse and accountability, as well as a commitment to making amends and changing behavior in the future. And if you are ready, make a conscious decision to forgive the person for their actions. Release any resentment or grudges that you may be holding on to. But understand that forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. It allows you to move forward with a sense of peace and closure. And then very important is to communicate your boundaries clearly. Your expectations or your boundaries moving forward to prevent similar incidents from occurring in the future. Establish healthy boundaries for yourself and for that relationship, and be prepared to enforce them if it's necessary. And if you follow these steps, you can accept an apology in a thoughtful and constructive manner, and that fosters healing and reconciliation in your relationship. But here's the most important thing. If you wish to accept an apology, say, thank you, I accept your apology. Never say, okay, because that means the transgression is now acceptable, which it can never be. And if you're not ready to accept an apology, you don't have to. Simply say, thank you for sharing that with me. I'll reflect on it. That's all. That is all you have to do. I'm Sinta Ebersohn, and I invite you to get up and grow with me.